Moving on to the advantages of this modern periodic table. So this table is completely based on the fundamental property, which is your atomic number, and it correlates the position of the element with its electronic configuration very clearly. So if you take third element, its position is 3 because its atomic number also is 3 and whose electronic configuration also is 3. So that is why on that basis it was placed. So it was very clearly arranged. The elements were very clearly arranged in the periodic table. Okay. The completion of each period is more logical. That is, in a period, as the atomic number increases, the energy shells are gradually filled up until an inert gas configuration is reached. And arrangement also, it was not done just like that. So it should increase gradually. On that basis only it was created. And it is easy to remember and reproduce. So you can easily remember and reproduce again. And each group is an independent group, and idea of subgroup has been discarded. So if you see in the Mendeleev's periodic table, it has subgroup, but here every group is an independent only. One position for all the isotopes of an element is justified since isotopes have the same atomic number. In the Mendeleev's periodic table, there were no position for isotope at all. Here, position for isotope also were there in the same periodic table itself, because isotopes, they have the same atomic number. Okay, the position of the 8th group is also justified in the table. All transition elements have been brought into the middle of the properties of transition elements and intermediate between the left portion and the right portion elements of the periodic table. Just now we saw. So transition elements, they were kept in between because they have the properties of S and P block. And the table completely separate metals from non-metals, and the non-metals are present in the upper right corner of the periodic table. So if you see the periodic table here, all the metals are present, all the non-metals, they are present in the upper right corner. All the metals, they are present here. Okay. And the position for certain elements which were earlier misfit in the Mendeleev's periodic table were now changed, were now justified, because it is based on the atomic number of the element. And justification has been offered for placing lanthanides and actinides in the bottom of the periodic table. So it was very different to place these elements below. So he justified that also. Since there is no place here, so he brought that down. He justified that also. Now we are going to see the position of hydrogen in the periodic table, because already while discussing the blocks, I said this hydrogen was placed along with the metal, but it is a non-metal. So still we don't have proper position for hydrogen in the periodic table. Let us see how it is. So hydrogen is the lightest, smallest and the first element in the periodic table. You all know very well. And its electronic configuration is 1s1. It is the simplest of all the elements. It occupies unique position because it behaves like alkali metal also, and it behaves like halogens also. Okay. If you take the first point you see here, hydrogen can also lose its one element and form hydrogen ion, which is your H plus ion, like alkali metals. It can also gain one electron to behave like halogen. Alkali metals are solid while hydrogen is a gas. So it is still a confusion whether to place this hydrogen along with the halogen or along with the alkali metals. It is still under debate. So we don't have a proper unique position for this hydrogen still now in the periodic table. Okay. So this is how you can see the main you all know very well how to write the electronic configuration. Atomic structure we saw, like K shell, it will hold maximum of 2 electrons, L shell will be holding maximum of 8, M shell will be holding 18, N will be holding 32. This was based on what? 2n square formula. So that also it is having subshells, no, now. So this K shell will be having 1s subshell, L will be having 2 subshells like 2s and 2p, M shell will be having 3 subshells like 3s, 3p, 3d, and the electrons will be splitted up like 2, 6 and 10. If you add them, you will get this 18. Okay, and fourth shell, which is your n shell, it is splitted up into 4 subshells like 4s, 4p, 4d and 4f. Now moving on to the position of rare gases. The elements helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon and radon of group 18 in the periodic table are called as noble gases or rare gases because they are not present very abundant in the environment, and they are monoatomic gases. Like if you take helium, you can write it as He only, you cannot write it as He2 or He3. Monoatomic means He1 only. Okay, due to the completely filled subshells and they don't react very easily. When do elements go and react with other elements? If they lack electrons, if they have excess of electrons. But if you take this noble gases, they have completely filled subshells and they don't go and react. They are highly non-reactive. Okay, that is why they are called as inert. Inert means non-reacting to anything. Okay, and they are found in very small quantities and also they are called as rare gases. Moving on to the metals, non-metals and metalloids.